Hey guys, Paul here from Cassus Media Digital Marketing Solutions. In this video, I want to talk about some of the vibe coding projects we've been working on. Vibe coding has become like a huge thing, and of course we had to get in on it because we have an AI initiative. And so we've developed a couple applications through it. But when you're developing any kind of application, what you really want to think about is your cybersecurity. You want to think about user flow, user experience, the UI UX, which we do for the websites that we develop. And I've been teaching my team some of this stuff. A lot of these projects I went ahead and did myself. Um, but yeah, so let's get right into it. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. And so you can see here, the first project we have is our Cassus CRM. This is fully functional. It is free at the moment. I don't know if I'll ever charge for it, but right now you can use this to manage your contacts. So it helps you organize contacts, track revenue, grow your business. This is primarily for B2B folks, but you can use it for B2C. And so you can organize all your contacts, you can track revenue, you can actually attach notes to everybody, and I'll kind of go through it here in a minute. And it is attached to Google API, so Google Cloud, and you can actually search businesses. So let's get into it here. I'm going to use this account. All right, so you see here we have our dashboard. So what you have here are these category cards, and these are just the default ones. Here you have a search bar, and all your contacts will show down here. And up here you have your navigation. So the first thing we would do is, let's say I'm a salesperson and I want to go and find a business in, like, a dentist in, I don't know, St. Louis, Missouri. It's going to search the map, it's going to show all those locations, and then it does 20 results at a time. So let's say we want Forest Park Dental here. We're going to import that contact. And if I go back to find businesses, well, actually, let me refresh because the browser doesn't want that. Let's say we go back to find dentists in St. Louis, Missouri. Because the name is exactly the same, it's going to say it's already imported. All right. So this is what the card looks like, and you can switch from grid to list view. And here you have some different options. You can go into the file folder. You can add folders in here and upload like files. Obviously keep it limited. Every account is limited to 1 gigabyte. The pencil icon lets you edit the contact, and from this screen you'll be able to add notes. So if you add a note, put test, click off of it, and it adds the note, and then you save the contact. So you'll see one note here, it says test, and it says the last updated date and time based on your browser time zone. So that's the Find Businesses feature. That's how you add one. You can also just add a contact like this. You can import a list. There's a template. You can do all of that sort of thing. You can click Manage Files, and you can see all the files for your particular account. So it's pretty good for managing like PDFs of agreements and things of that nature. And then Revenue Analytics. So you'll notice here, if I go in here, you can add, let's say you're a marketing agency like us and you charge them $100 a month. You can save the contact, and then when you go to your Revenue Analytics, your potential revenue is 100. Why is that? Well, it's because you still need to contact them, but you think that you could get $100 a month out of them every month to pay for the service. What you can do is you can change all these statuses in your settings. So we're going to go to settings here, and this is kind of where you can edit these. So you click like need to contact. You can change this to one of these two. So if it's current revenue, we would update. You're like, you know what? I'm sure the need to contact. If I go back to Revenue Analytics, you'll see it's considered current revenue. and it still shows as potential because they're under a need to contact status. So yeah, both can be off, but only one can be on at a time. Um, so there's that. And then we have the tasks function, super simple right now. I'm not trying to replace anybody's CRM, things of that nature. It was just something to remind yourself if you don't have any other tools. Um, and then we have a forms feature, which this is really cool. So I have like a business leads form here to show you. And so we can edit this. I can preview it. This is kind of what it looks like. You can change the form description, the form title. You can change the color of the button. You can hide both of these. You can do the success message. You can change the radius. Um, and you can choose anytime somebody fills out the form for them to add. The idea is a lead form, so it would go right into your account as another lead. So let's say you're selling something to businesses and they're interested and they fill out the form, it would be added, but you can turn that off if you like. Obviously, I'm going to keep that on. You can change the form padding, that's within the form, and then you can change the form fields. You have a different field here. So the different types we have so far are text, email, phone, text area, drop down, radio buttons, and check boxes. No file uploads. I don't want our servers getting overloaded, frankly. So it's not for that kind of thing. But yeah, so this is something we're actively maintaining because we use it, and I've estimated that if we get enough people using it, any new people I could charge. So if you're using it right now, um, until I announce maybe that we're going to be charging for it, it's free. So get on the boat. And here's an inbox. So as the admin, sometimes I'll send out a message to all the accounts. And this is where you would get any like system-wide messages, that sort of thing. This is also where you'll get form notifications that somebody filled out the form. And if you leave these as the default will they'll just add it to the need to contact because they contacted you, so you need to contact them. But you can change all of these, the names of them, things of that nature. So this is just the default one. And if you, of course, if you have any issues, you can always, contact us at the support, at the help link up here. All right, well, that is Cassus CRM. Give it a whirl. The other cool thing I should mention about this before I go on to the next thing is that in your settings here, you can actually upload your own logo. So you can upload your own logo and it'll show up in the top left and replace this. So you can white label it. You can maybe sell it to other people. Again, get on the boat because I don't think I'm going to be able to maintain this as a free thing forever. So there's that. Great. All right, so that's Cassus CRM. Next is Cassus Media Grant Writer. If you're not a nonprofit, you can skip this one, or you can watch it if you're interested. And what this is a platform for people to write grants because most of them charge money for you to use their software. And I thought, well, that's silly. Nonprofits don't have a lot of money, especially new ones. And I was inspired by my aunt who runs a nonprofit called Families United for Change. And she was having a little bit of trouble. So I said, well, I could just vibe code something. And then I thought I could just offer this for free to people. And so the trade-off here, obviously, is that we would know what your email is, and we might do some marketing to you, since I'm not charging anything for it, kind of thing. But you can always opt out if you don't want to hear from us. We try to be helpful. We try to give you some of our expertise, that sort of thing. So let's get into this. I think a test account works. Great, perfect. So this is Johnny Test. So when you get in here, you can click new grant or click create grant, or click new grant up here. So let's just click new grant. And you can see her logo's up here. I uploaded it as like a test, so I'm giving her a little bit of a free promo here. We're going to call this test grant proposal. And what you'll notice here is that it puts it in a pre-filled out sort of 8.5 by 11 sheet that you can then just print. So, Families United for Change. This follows some of the best practices. The funding folks, LLC or something. And let's say she wanted $10,000. The deadline is like October 5th, 2026. And this is more for just what the status of this grant is. So it doubles as a tracking tool, not just making the thing. So you can change the font to any of these, and you'll see it changes it live, just like that. Pretty cool. And yes, we vibe coded this. It's it's insane. It's really good. So here you can manage all your sections. You can move things around. It's pretty cool. And then what you can do here is this is my project summary. And you can click templates and actually save this as a template. So let's say you're doing multiple of these, and you really just want to, make a similar version, but you don't want to retype everything. You can just like template it out. So, and you don't have to use all of these sections. If you don't use them, they won't show up. They're blank. And then you can add supporting documents, so it will append it to the end. And then when you go to export the PDF, it will ask if you want to include it or not. You can draw your signature, or you can upload the image of your signature, put your full name, your title, things of that nature. It's still sort of a work in progress. Here's the document library for your account. There's some frequently asked questions here. So yeah, if this is something you want to use, just go to cassusgrants.com, create an account, and this one we don't really market to you, but if you need marketing, you can just click here and go to our website. Right? All right. The next project, 3 of 4 here, is our Cassus QR. So this one is a paid one, but it's 47 bucks. And the reason I did this was because I think people pay monthly for like QR codes, and I have subscription fatigue, frankly. So if I go down here, if I click learn more, it goes to our pricing page on this, and it just talks about sort of features that they may not offer, but we do. Here's some use cases, industries that may use it. And so what this offers, guys, is a dynamic QR code system. And what dynamic QR codes are, if you don't know, is when you scan a QR code, it goes to a certain web address. If you scan a dynamic QR code, you can change what that web address is from your online account. Basically, it pings the server. It says, where should this QR code take me to? It says, go there, and then it takes you there. If you log in here, you can change that. So this is the sign up page. This is what it looks like. I'm going to click sign in here. Let's click this one. Great. Okay, so here is a QR code for one of our clients, Burke & Co. out of Altoona, Pennsylvania. And that is a QR code. This is like a little thing. You click that, you download the PNG. That is the high quality 1000 by 1000 pixel QR code. And you'll see here that if I click this pencil icon, you can actually change what that is. Now, you can actually view the analytics of any QR codes that you have, and you can do it by that day. Kind of gives you like a live last 7 days, last 30 days, which was me testing it. They never used it. Last 90 days, and all time. So it goes from the first one that you ever scanned and then goes from there. Yeah, so that is Cassus QR. Pretty simple. Again, it's 47 bucks. You probably spend more on a tank of gas. I kept it low primarily for small businesses, but anybody could use it. And that just helps us to keep the server going and things of that nature. So, um, yeah. The last thing is a fun little project. This is called Link Quest, and it was sort of born out of an idea of making like a fun application. And I thought, well, I want it to be functional, and it could just be for individuals at work. And I thought, well, people like Nintendo. There is a open source version of a font. I think it's the Mario 64 font. So let me log in. You can email me here, by the way. And so I'm going to sign into my account. It's going to load my links. And here you go. It's fun. It's a little animated. There's little clouds in the background. You can organize all your links into folders. Or you could just look at all of your links. Any ones that are uncategorized will show up here. And I gamified it by anytime you click a link, your points go up. And there's a leaderboard. Like me and 2 other people as of the time of this recording. This is pretty recent. Um, but yeah, so it's fun. I mean, it obviously if you have a bookmarks bar and you like all your links up there, that's good. But if you want to like pin this to your browser and then just use this as where you manage all your links, by all means. This thing is super light. It's hardly taking up any bandwidth on our server, so it's not going anywhere. And I'd love for you guys to utilize this. So, okay. Well, thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions, feel free to comment or email me at pcasserly@cassusmedia.com. Again, I'd love to just sort of hear your ideas. If you have any projects you want to work with us on, we'd be more than happy to hear from you. Thanks so much, and have a great rest of your day.